Oh, Mom, what is that thing in the sky?
It's the hand of God, my son.
If you're a good boy, don't be afraid because it only takes the sinners.
I understand. I'm scared, but I'll trust you, ma'am.
Yes, my son, our destiny is in his hands.
Hello, my friends. Today we are going to meet a sinister creature called the Hand of Haven. This hand is one of the most colossal creatures that exist in this bizarre world. It's black as night and seems to have thin bony fingers. Well, thin compared to the size of the hand itself, right? But for us the diameter is absurd, man. It's a creature that suddenly appears in a cloudy sky. It has those big fingers that can reach anything on the ground. The knowledge we have is that the creature is calm and neutral at first, right? It's gonna come down and grab the earth and everything on the ground, man, and take it up to the sky behind the clouds. And whatever gets caught will never be seen again. That's it, it's over. There have been cases where the hand grabbed several houses, buildings, and people at the same time, all in a single handful. Bro, everything's here. There are also reports of sightings in large pastures where the creature collected hundreds of cattle at once. Man, they were just grazing there, feeding on the grass. If someone sets off an explosive in the area to try to defend themselves from this creature, something worse could happen. If the creature ends up being blown up, the hand will become hostile and quickly close, forming a fist. It will slam into the ground below, causing shockwaves and destroying everything within its reach. It is estimated that some earthquakes that happen around the world are caused this way by the hand slamming into the ground. Some sources differ on the size of this creature, but it is estimated to be over 4,000 meters tall. Because it reaches the first layer of clouds, right? At least. And nobody knows where this creature hides or lives, and we only know that it comes, takes things, and leaves. So stay alert when the skies are clear, because the Hand of Haven might show up. Be careful. Hello, my friends. Today we're going to learn about a sinister creature that seems to have come straight from the underworld. This story is about a young man camping with his friend. It goes like this. The whole thing about hunting these monsters. It had just been an excuse for me to get close to Julia, and I think even she knew that. I thought it would be fun and that we would create something special, but things started to go wrong from the moment we got there. We didn't have enough equipment to help us, and on top of that, there were noises in the bushes and strange sounds coming from outside. It was a strange feeling, but in the end we stayed there in the forest. We managed to set up our tents and went to sleep. I woke up that night to Julia screaming for help somewhere in the middle of the forest. I realized I was already running, half asleep, and nearly tripped over an exposed root. I searched and searched, but couldn't find my friend. There was no sign of her. I was about to go back and get help in the city. That's when I heard Julia calling me from the tents. She had been there the whole time. She hadn't left or been captured by some animal. Then a bizarre hand appeared and closed around my ankle. When I looked back, I saw that rabbit. I was being dragged into the darkness, but I believe it was God who intervened at that moment. I broke free and ran away, man. He's known as Humanoid Rabbit. He's nothing more than a really big rabbit with a disturbing appearance. Dude, and no, it's not a human wearing a rabbit costume like Custom Man. It's really a flesh and blood animal. He gives off a horrible stench, man, and has superhuman strength. It inhabits forests and can even hide in bushes in cities during Easter time. And it usually hunts using its long arms to pull its victims. It mimics voices incredibly well. It can make the victim hear someone they know or even a relative, increasing the chance of luring the person into the trap. Isn't that right? So that's when Humanoid Rabbit takes the person to its lair and feeds. Imagine how many people couldn't tell their story because they were devoured by this creature. So be careful, my friends. There was a small town that was once holding a circus festival. It was a highly anticipated event for everyone where children and adults gathered to enjoy performances by jugglers, trapeze artists, and clowns. But there was one clown in particular who caught the children's attention. This clown was different because when he entered the stage, everyone noticed him immediately. His name was Clown Baleia. Most likely this stage name was because of his gigantic size. He was so fat, really so fat, that it was even hard for him to move around. Another interesting fact is that he didn't like being called that. He wouldn't let the situation slide. He would turn into something darker and more destructive. There are reports that in his first performance as a clown, people started laughing at him even before he told his first joke. That made him furious, which caused even more laughter from the audience, right? People weren't laughing with him, they were laughing at him. So, in a moment of rage, the whale clown started rolling like a bowling ball to the point where he fell on top of the audience, running everyone over, without mercy. The trail of blood was left behind and the destruction was obvious, to the point where people saw him coming and tried to run away. But it was useless. The result of this performance was 0 survivors in the audience. He was immediately arrested by the authorities of the small town where the circus was. But for that, they had to call a truck to take him. It was too much weight for a regular police car. Even afterwards, he managed to get released because his lawyer argued that he wasn't at fault for losing his balance on stage and falling. He placed the responsibility on the circus that hired him for not providing adequate safety conditions for the job. Even after this incident, Clown Baleia still performs occasionally in some circuses in the countryside of Brazil. And now he has taken a liking to running over audiences. But now he makes sure not to leave any traces that could incriminate him. So, my friends, be careful when you go to a circus. He might show up there and end up crushing you.